Listen, the more you learn, the more you earn. Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Sabali Freeman. Today, I want to get on here and talk to you guys about excuses people make to not educate themselves. Now, at the end of the day, people make a lot of excuses. So I'm not going to put all of them into this one video. I'm just going to start with one. And then I'll probably do a series with some of the other ones. But nevertheless, we're going to get started with this one. One of the biggest excuses people like to make to not go educate themselves is they kind of like to look at other people's scenarios, and they like to use that to justify why they're not going to go to college. So they'll look at Mark Zuckerberg and say, well, hey, he dropped out of college and he's a billionaire. Therefore, I can do the same thing. I don't got to go to college to be successful economically, which is true to some extent. And then they'll, on the flip side, say, well, hey, my friend's brother, cousin, she went to college. She got a degree, graduated 5 years later. She's still working at Kmart, right? And so the issue with this excuse not to go to college is that you're looking at one of scenarios and you're not taking anything into consideration. Um, when you're using this to justify why you're not going to go to college. So looking at a Mark Zuckerberg that dropped out and became a billionaire, the issue with that excuse is that's a one of scenario. People aren't dropping out of college and making millions and billions of dollars. The dropout rate is 32.9%, I think, in the US right now. I think in 2023 alone, 350,000 people dropped out of college, right? Out of all those people, how many of them are going to become millionaires and billionaires? Probably none of them. So you have to look at that and take that into consideration before you use that to justify your excuse not to go educate yourself. Because typically people who drop out of college, they're not making millions and billions of dollars. They're not becoming rich like that. It just doesn't work like that. Unless you invented something or you got some crazy business plan, different conversation. But other than that, I mean, you're really not going to become a millionaire and a billionaire dropping out of college. It's just not going to happen like that. And then even on the flip side, saying that I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that went to college and graduated and they still can't find a job. Again, that's a one of scenario. You can't say you know one person um, and use that as an excuse because it's just one person. And then you also have to take into consideration what did they get their degree in? What colleges they go to. If they got a degree in psychology at the bachelor's level, you ain't making no money with that. If they got a degree in communications, you're not making no money with that. You're not making no money with a biology degree. You're not making no money with a liberal arts degree. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that into consideration as well. So overall, trying to use somebody else's scenario to justify why you don't want to educate yourself, that ain't smart. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a smart thing to do because it's too much to take into consideration. Now, if you personally knew 100 people that went to college and they got degrees that are supposed to earn you income and they can't find a job, different conversation. But nobody knows 100 people personally. So again, it's just not a good excuse to make. At the end of the day, there's no excuse not to go to college and educate yourself. There are some worthless degrees out there. I will say that. But that is why I say you have to go to college to earn some income. That has to be at the forefront of your mind. You have to have a roadmap. You cannot just major in anything. You can't just major in something because you want to take easy classes. You can't do that. If you do that, you're going to be one of these people shouting that college is a waste of time, it's a scam, when really it's not. You just didn't do the research. So don't make an excuse not to educate yourself because there is no excuse. Go to college, go to school, get an education, and get a job that's going to earn you some income. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.